Hi, everybody! Roar! Create Creature and Jerks are back with another video today, and we are doing our review of the new Marvel movie, Thunderbolts. Yep, and man, was it good. Yeah, it all starts with Elena, the other Black Widow who is with, Natasha in the Black Widow movie, and who showed up in the Hawkeye series. It was really great seeing her again, and not just her, we also saw some others, but we'll get to that later. Elena's working for the, uh, Madam Hydra. Yeah, and she was crazy. She even had others on her payroll with this whole Ox Technologies thing, and she didn't want to get impeached from her position. So she wanted to come up with a way to, get rid of all the evidence, and who was on her payroll as evidence and witnesses? It was Elena, then there was John Walker. Well, you know who John Walker is. The Captain America who kind of went down in a downward spiral, turned into a super soldier, and, well, kind of killed somebody using Steve's shield. He used the shield like a guillotine. Yeesh. Well, luckily that shield is in Sam's hands. Yeah, well, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, or Madame Hydra, is trying to get rid of all the evidence with her whole thing with Project Sentry. Yeah. And the others that are on her payroll, besides Yelena and John Walker, there's also Ava Starr, who is Ghost. I thought she was cured of her whole thing. Then there's Taskmaster from the Black Widow movie, but she kind of dead. Ava killed her. And then they meet a mysterious man named Bob. Bob? Yeah, Bob. And then, a little while after this whole mini teamwork thing, it turns out that Yelena's, adopted father, Alexei Sostakov, otherwise known as the Red Guardian, the Russian super soldier, he helps them out. And guess who else finds them? Bucky. Winter Soldier? Yep. He kind of captures them in order to use them for, evidence to testify against De Fontaine. And we also learn that Bob, he was the subject of one of De Fontaine's Project Sentry program. And he was the only one that survived. So what does that mean? We find out that he's actually like a Marvel Superman. You're kidding me. Yep. And as Sentry, he's got super strength, super speed, flight. He's bulletproof. I mean, pretty much invulnerable. And ultimately, he's got telekinesis as well. But I don't know what else he's got. And also, well, when Sentry kind of develops a godlike personality of superiority. He turns on DeFontaine, or Madame Hydra, as I like to call her. He gets killed by the kill switch. But after that happens, he has a more destructive alter ego called the Void, who turns people into like shadows and then puts them in like a pocket dimension of their worst memories. Whoa. He can really do that? Yep. They're not dead, they're just put into that dimension of fear. Yeah. And when that happens, Yelena goes into there to face her past as when she was a Black Widow, and finds Bob in there in a recreation of his childhood bedroom. And he had a crappy childhood with his abusive father. They travel back to a whole other things, and Bob's experimentation in Malaysia. He thought it would be harmless and trying to improve himself from being a aimless drug addict. They confront Void, but the only thing that can help Bob control this and get out of this was trying to show him that he's not alone. I really loved this whole thing. It tried to show them that they are not alone. That Yelena isn't alone. And after that, the whole thing with the Thunderbolts, well, they kind of get manipulated into a public press conference by Madame Hydra, or DeFontaine, and she rebrands them as the New Avengers. Come on! That can't be right! We know that Sam is already rebuilding the Avengers with him and his new Falcon buddy. Yeah. I still like Thunderbolts, though. But the Thunderbolts agree to this whole thing, but if DeFontaine steps out of line, Yelena threatens her to saying, "We own you now." Ooh. Yeah. And then, in the post-credit scene, well, the New Avengers and Bob discussed an ongoing little thing with their whole thing with, the copywriting things with them being called the New Avengers when Sam is already trying to rebuild the Avengers. Yeah. Yeah. And, it is the worst. trying to come up with a new team name, but there's also the whole thing, them being called the Thunderbolts. I still like that name better than calling themselves the New Avengers. But in that, and Bob, he can't be Sentry without becoming Void and all that. If only there was a way to turn him into, let him use his powers as Sentry without turning into Void. Yeah. But also in the post-credit scene, they get a distress signal from a spaceship coming to Earth. And that spaceship is the Fantastic Four spaceship. No way. Yeah. Something must have happened when their fight with Galactus kind of dimension hopped them into this world. Ooh. That could go on to Avengers Doomsday. Yeah. And I cannot wait for this. The Fantastic Four are coming to the M.C.U. Oh, wow. I am so excited. So, that's going to be it for our review of the Thunderbolts. So, don't forget to like our videos, comment what you think, share with your friends. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe right away. This is Crate Creature and Trucks telling you to have a lovely day and bye. Rawr!